Good morning, YouTubers. Sunday truck day. So our bracket came in today for our alternator tensioner here to take the pressure off of the AC compressor here and the alternator bracket here. As you can see, another bolt snapped. It is a Detroit problem, so this guy here should fix it. Now, those two bolts will come out where the engine hook is to when you're pulling the engine, and our bracket here bolt on it, and then the four bolts there will bolt on the AC compressor on this side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it does come with all your hardware here. So it's 916 and 1316. So yep, we'll take out the two big bolts here, 1316. There's a bit of paint on there, but yeah. And we'll get a bolt back in there, but we'll slack them all and put it in and see how she works and get some bolts back in there. So stay tuned. Not too tight. If it is, just put some heat to it. Just be careful where you put your heat. Just get the two bolts out. You could reuse these ones, or you could use the new ones that it comes with. But we don't need that hook there, so just you keep it handy around just in case whenever you're ready to pull your engine when that time comes. But that's that hook there. And see, holes line up. Yep, they line up. So almost the same width, a bit thicker, but the bolt will hold it in. Now you're gonna want to just slack all the bolts so you're not fighting up in there. Just to align it, just slack the compressor bolts here a bit, just so you get some leg room to play with. 15, 16 bolt on the tensioner just to bring it down, and you got your 3/4 bolt and nut here. You just got to slack it a bit so you could bring it down, so you're not fighting up with yourselves. And then we have enough leg room to get her in and tighten her on. Just a quick tip before you put the bracket on, just run your 916 bolts through each hole just to clean them up, because they're probably full of dirt and salt if you run, northern parts of the country. So yeah, just clean them up, run them through so you're not fighting up with it. Use some spray if you like, but yeah, just run your bolts through the holes first before you get the brackets all lined up, and then put her on and then try to catch your bolts. So one of the holes was a bit clogged up, corrosion and dirt, so sometimes you run into these problems. I had a rethreader tool here, so just find your size and you could just run it through the hole. It's actually a tap and die set I got, so yeah, just gonna run that through because I couldn't get the bolt to clean it up. So I ran the tap through the hole here, let's clean it out, and then I'm gonna take it back out and get her all cleaned up. The other three were good, but you always got one stubborn one. Alright, we ran the tap through, and yep, look at that, she goes in just like butter, nice and smooth. Everything works when you got all the right tools. All up. Just be careful with your compressor wire here. You don't want to squeeze any wires, so just lift it up a bit. Align it with the compressor. So you're going to want to get these bolts in first. You could just catch them. Catch all your bolts first before you tighten up anything. Make sure everything is straight. So putting in the two big main bolts here. And then we'll align the compressor. Yeah, just watch all your wires. Align it and catch your 9/16 bolts, 4 bolts. And then we'll tighten up everything, make sure our belts are nice and tight. We got all our bolts in, everything's lined up. Now we're going to tighten everything. You may want a gear wrench to get the ones down here on the bottom. It's a bit tight, ratchet won't fit unless you got a tiny one. But good old gear wrench comes in handy here. These are 9/16 bolts, so we're going to go ahead and get them all tightened up. Oh. Alright, so we got all the bolts nice and tight. These are all tight. Make sure it's really tight because this vibrates a lot and you don't want no loose bolts coming out. So once all that is tight, we can get our alternator back in place. Make sure everything's lined up straight. Tighten our belts and tighten back all our bolts for the alternator and our tensioner. And get her going. And there you have it, folks. Everything is nice and tight. Brackets in. Alternator's all tight. Don't forget to tighten up all your bolts and nuts. Your 9/16 here, your 15/16 here, your 3/4 on the alternator, 13/16 there on the for the bracket, and your 9/16s on the other sides. You got, depending on your size, 5/8, 11/16 nuts for the AC compressor bracket. Now we will fire up and watch her go. If you want to look on the other side, this is what she looks like. Got your 4 bolts there. Oh, we'll go and give her a cold start. It's not too cold here today in Canada. 8 degrees Celsius. No smoke today. That's that Detroit power. Watch our gauge go up. Go up to 14. Take a while. It's cold. There you have it, folks. Nice and straight. Tight. To be safe going down the road. Like I said, always keep some spare bolts and nuts. And always keep a spare alternator because you never know when that bad boy might run out. Hope it helps you guys out down the road. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Oh yeah.